Morning, welcome back to the channel. Our first video of 2025. So happy new year, although it seems like a distant memory now. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring you on this little journey of this car that we're on the way to get today. There's a bit of a story with this car, and this car for us is 10 years in the making. We've been going, I think what are we now? We're coming up for year 12, I think so. Anyway, about 10 years ago, I got a phone call from a guy, and he said, "Oh, I see you've got an Astra GTE for sale. My dad's got a car that I think you might be interested in." So he told me the details. Now, don't ask me why, but some people offer us cars that don't exist. I don't know if it's, people just wanting to talk on the phone, whatever it is. So when we get offered special cars, sometimes you take it with a little bit of, a pinch of salt. And also when people tell you the cars are really good condition, again, you have to take that with a pinch of salt, because everyone's good condition is different. You get the good for its age, you get the concourse, you get the min, and everyone's perception of them things are different. So anyway, the guy sent me some pictures on WhatsApp. We ended the call. He said he'd send some pictures. He sent me some pictures on WhatsApp. Sure enough, this car that he told me that his dad owned from new looked fantastic. So I rang back, spoke to him again, then spoke to the father. Both really nice guys. And they told us what the price was for the car. Now, at the time, 10 years ago, the price was high, but it's quite a special car. So we agreed. We said, okay, well, if we say we're going to pay you your asking price, which is on the high side, but we'd like to buy the car. If we come down with the trailer, are you saying that, we've got a deal? So he said yes. I think it was the very next day we put the trailer on and drove 4.5-5 hours and got there, met the family. Like I say, really nice people. Showed us the car, told us the history behind the car. Now, the car was a Mk1 Astra GTE. In itself, maybe not too special to a lot of people. I've got a big, Vauxhalls are in my heart from when I was growing up. So I love all the old sporty Vauxhalls, and I had a lot of sporty Vauxhalls, late teens, early 20s. But what makes this one special was it's 19,000 miles, and he'd owned it from new. Genuine one-owner car, not a car that's been passed around in the trade or never been registered. It was still with the original owner, original purchase invoice with it, etc. Car wanted a detail, but that was about it really, a recommission obviously. So looked around the car, spent a bit of time chatting, and agreed a deal, shook hands, went in the office to sort of conclude. Excuse the darkness, we're in a tunnel. And his wife came through and said, "Oh, what are you up to? What are you guys up to?" And he said, "Oh, these guys are buying the Astra." And she said, No, they're not. So they had a bit of a, let's call it a chat. And myself and Steve were sort of sat there like, well, this is awkward. Ultimately, we ended up driving home with an empty trailer 10 years ago. He was very apologetic for the situation. We understood the situation. He said, keep in touch, and I'll talk to the wife. So I spoke to him probably 2 or 3 times a year. I'd ring, have a catch up, and then, excuse me, I didn't think it was as long ago as this, but I now know, or I've been reminded that 7 years ago, I rang to speak to him and was informed it had sadly passed away, which was quite sad. I enjoyed our chats. Like I say, he's a really nice guy. I like Vauxhalls, he liked Vauxhalls, we got on nicely. So I then went through and told Steve and said, Tony has passed. sad news. So we wrote a letter to the wife expressing our condolences, and that was that. You know, we've always wondered over the course of the 7 years, where's the Astra? Myself and Steve had sort of discussed it and said, you know, I wonder if it's still in the same condition. I wonder if it's been sold. I wonder if it's just sat and deteriorated. So 2 weeks ago, I get a phone call, and the gentleman says, you were speaking to my dad about his car. Now, obviously, your brain thinks, oh, it's something recent, you know, last couple of weeks maybe. And he said the name, and the name rang a bell. I knew the name rang a bell, but I couldn't quite figure out why. And I was thinking, you know, past 2 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, I thought, I've not spoken to anyone of that name recently about a car. So I said, what car was it? That might remind me. And he said, Vauxhall Astra GTE. I immediately realised the name, the car. And he said it was 7 years ago that he passed. Where's this car doing? Sorry. And the car is still in the same condition. They had it recommissioned, and then it's been tucked away in professional storage. You know, dehumidified storage place. I've looked the place up online. It looks a very nice place. They've got some very, very special cars there. And so obviously I was really pleased to, one, hear from him, and also two, hear that the car still is around and as it was, potentially better even. So he said, my mum has given me a letter that you sent her 7 years ago, and she's ready to sell the car, and she wants it to be you guys that buy it. So obviously we've had various conversations since then. I rang Steve as soon as I was off the phone and said, you won't believe the phone call I've just had 7 years later. So we're both very excited. So various conversations. We're paying a lot of money for the car, as you'd expect, for a 19,000 mile Mk1 Astra GTE that's all original and restored and lovely. But one, we want it to be a nice, easy process for the family, and for them to get a fair figure, because there are people out there who would try and steal the car and pay a low price for it. Thankfully, they've got a good idea of what the car is actually worth, so that would be difficult. But having said that, there are people out there that would try and push it. So when we've visited 10 years ago, they also showed us another vehicle that he owned, which was a Toyota Hiace van. So completely different to what we normally do, but 30,000 miles. I think it's an 86, 87. Really nice condition when we saw it. That's also in storage with the Astra. So they asked if we'd also be interested in that, and we've agreed on that as well. So Steve is following with the other trailer. So we've got both trailers, and we are, nearly just over 2 hours away now. Hopefully they're as good as we remember. That might be awkward if they're not, but I'm sure they are. I've had pictures of the Astra, looks fantastic. So we're going to get there, get loaded up, get back to base. We're going to get back probably about 4 p.m. today, and then we'll show you the car properly, and we'll also do a little side video of the Hiace, because it's quite an interesting thing. We've looked around online, can't really find any of that era particularly in good low mileage condition, but we can't really even find any rough ones, so that's an interesting thing in itself. But the Astra, I think you guys are going to like, and I am, as a 40-year-old man, I feel like a 12-year-old kid, you know, the day before his birthday or Christmas. I'm very excited about this one. So yeah, let's show you them once we've been there and got them. Okay, so here we are with the car in our showroom. That little video segment of us collecting the car was a little while ago now. Basically we got back, we've been so busy we sort of put this away in storage, and me and Gav in the office were saying we really need to get this video out there so people can see this car. You know, it's a special car, it should get lots of appreciation. And so here we are doing a little video about it. We just want to show you the car. Obviously you've listened to me sort of ramble on about the story of how it came about and the ownership and things like that. So we want to just show you the car. We're actually now going to tuck this away fully into storage. So we wanted to show you the car before we do that, and just sort of show you what it's about really. It's all original, and we'll just take you on a little walk around. Even the tyres are the original tyres. So yeah, let's do that now. I'll give you a little show around of the car before it gets tucked away. This car isn't for sale, it's not going to be for sale. So yeah, let's just give you a little look around. So here we are, a little look around the Astra GTE. As I say, it's completely original, so all the paintwork is original. It's one owner, 19,000 miles, even on the original tyres. The only thing that's been changed is the exhaust system. There's a few little things that we thought, oh, do we do this, do we do that? But you're taken away from how honest the car is. You know, it's got a couple of little stone chips on the bonnet. And we thought, do we paint the bonnet? But it is only original once. I know it didn't originally have stone chips. That's a fair argument. But I think unless you're going to try and sort of make it almost concourse, you've kind of got to leave it original. It's just such an honest car. You know, the vinyl surround on the tailgate is in really, really nice condition. Like I say, all the tyres are original. So we've done no detail into this. We've not actually touched this in terms of prep at all. It was previously machine polished when it was recommissioned at the storage place where we collected the car from. We probably will have Stuart do it again at some point. We will go round and do our usual sort of bits of prep without taking any originality away from the car. The eagle eye amongst you will notice it's not got the red centre emblem. We have got that grille with the car. I prefer it as it is, so I can completely understand why it's been changed. But yeah, like I say, the paintwork is actually really nice, all original. We've measured all the paint, obviously. Inside is lovely. It has got the original floor mats in the boot. Let me show you in here, if you can see that there. The seats are in really nice condition. Gear knob, steering wheel, etc. It's just a really, really nice, honest thing. So yeah, we'll do our usual detailing, etc. But for now, it's going to be put away in storage. Like I say, it's not going to come up for sale. But we thought you'd appreciate seeing it and sort of understanding the story behind it, if you will. Maybe we'll bring a bit more of this to the channel further down the line. But for now, it's just the little walk around. Again, lovely in here. Like I say, the original mats are with the car there in the boot. But even the, you know, the B-pillar vinyls are really nice. It's not faultless, you know, a couple of little marks on wheels and things. But it is very, very, very good. Surely the best original one out there, quite possibly. Like I say, it has had the exhaust changed. Other than that, it's all original. It's lovely underneath. We may well dry ice blast this underneath, and if we do that, we'll definitely do a video of that, because it looks like it would clean up lovely. The owner waxed it brand new when it was delivered to him brand new. If you've got any questions, you know, if you're restoring one or you need a reference point, anything like that, please feel free to drop us a message. We'd love to help where we can. So yeah, that is a little walk around the Astra. So there you go, you've had a little look around. Hope you've enjoyed seeing it. Obviously, it's a rarity to see one of these in such original condition in this mileage. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. That really does help us, helps our algorithms and things. Our next video is going to be episode 2 on our personal Evo 5, our Dandelion Yellow Evo 5 build. If you haven't seen episode 1, we'll drop a link around now. And episode 2 is going to be coming up, first start, dyno results, etc, etc. So keep an eye out for that. And we've got lots more to try and bring to the channel as well. So thank you very much for watching.